to the debates between Zhongshan Girls High School and Tainan Girls High School. The proposition for today's debate is, let the Taiwan government should make public sex offenders' personal information. For the debaters, rules for timing your speech are as follows. When there are 30 seconds left, you are here one short ring. When time is up, you are here two short rings. When it is 30 seconds into the extension, you are here a long ring. Upon hearing that, you have to stop your speech. And rules for timing your cross-examination are, when there are 30 seconds left, you are here one short ring. When time is up, you are here two short rings. Upon hearing that, you have to stop your cross-examination. Any evidence cited during the debates should have a corresponding evidence cards, which may be reviewed upon request by the cross-examiner and their teammates. The card need to be returned at the end of the constructed speech for following the cross-examination. For the audience, please turn off your cell phone or turn it to a vibrate mode. When the debate is still in progress, please do not cheat or use flash when taking pictures. Thank you. First, authority construct speech, 4 minutes.
Good afternoon. We have emphasized strongly and insist that the Taiwan government should make public sex offenders' personal information. Definition. According to the Criminal Code of the Republic of China, we define sex offenders as a person who commits serious sexual assault and no kind of rape, and the information will be made available to the public through website, police department, or app. And the information here, we define it as name, sex, age, pictures, and residence in crime about when, and their color and location. And citizens with ID cards can get access to the database at the police department, and they have to use their ID number to register an account on the website. Inherency. First, sexual offense cases are serious. According to National Police Agency, Ministry of Interior, there are more than 10,000 cases of reported case of forcible rape each year in Taiwan, which means that there are about 30 cases of rape happening every day, which means that people don't know how dangerous the environment is. And actually, the data does not include all kinds of sexual crimes, and that is why we're going to make public personal information of those sex offenders for the main purpose of prevention and raise public awareness, and with our additional strategy to prevent the crimes from happening. And second is that actually in the US and United Kingdom and South Korea and 6 other countries have implemented the sex offenders registry. And each country's spirit of legislation is the same, that the government wants to protect people, protect citizens from harm and prevent sex offenses from happening. And now I'm going to go on with my harm. First is that electronic monitor has a lot of flaws. It is also known as EM, and it's required for sex offenders when they're under the parole, and there are a lot of flaws useless, and it actually costs a lot of money, which is actually a waste of our funding, public funding, and the burden of the bad policy just falls on the people. So we're going to abolish EM and replace it with a GPS system. And second is that sex offenders on their parole with electronic monitor is actually ineffective due to the reason we just mentioned above. And third is that the percentage of rape is rising by 10% every year, according to the statistic from National Police Agency, Ministry of Interior, and that causes injury to the society. And now I'm going to talk about our plan. First, we're going to aggravate punishment, which means that we're going to lengthen the time of imprisonment, because about 85% of the offenders are only sentenced under 5 years of imprisonment, which means that aggravating the punishment will help deter and make people think twice before committing the crimes. And second, we're going to set a website under the Administrative Justice. The information of the government makes public has the most accurate information for people to search. So it is also the fastest way, the most convenient way to let citizens know about these sex offenders. And third is about the database in the police department. The criminal record that were already saved in the database of the Ministry of Justice will be transmitted to each country police department, and they will be updated promptly to ensure that the citizen can inquire the information conveniently and correctly. And the records will be made public on the first offense, name, photos, age, sex, crime, which was mentioned earlier, and their residency. And their information will be automatically be erased after 15 years. And also we have the app which I mentioned previously that will provide the current location of sex offender. And now we emphasize it is a rehabilitative measure, not a kind of punishment. And also the budget will spend about 27 million. The budget is originally from EM. And we're going to have a rehabilitative center and education for the citizen. And also we also will help the victims, which there will be a Crime Victim Protection Act and Association of Victim Support, which my partner will detail them later. So according to the reasons above, we firmly strongly agree that the Taiwan government should make public sex offenders' personal information. Thank you.
Second negative cross-examine first affirmative. 2 minutes.
Good afternoon.
So, are you going to open the minor's information, that's sex offenders age under 18?
No.
Then what are you going to do with it?
We're going to make public information of those because due to
Make public information of those?
of the offenders we mentioned earlier in your definition.
But what about age under 18?
No, because according to our Criminal Code of Republic of China, we also will protect the information of those under 18.
So do you have a plan, other plan for the age under 18 sex offenders?
Yes, we already have a rehabilitative center, and it's also the same measure for those offenders under the age of 18.
Okay, then where is your funding come from? Like you said, your budget is $27 million.
Yes, and it is originally from the EM, which is electronic monitoring, where we are going to abolish the EM and we will move the budget to our GPS system.
But Taiwan, do you know that Taiwan already has GPS supervision?
But it is actually different from what we are working on right now because we will connect our GPS system to the app we mentioned, and my partner will detail it later.
And so, does everyone can get the information through their own computer or only through the police department?
Well, my partner will mention data. Well, they can get access to the information about especially a current location through the app, and they can install the app on their cell phone or on their computer, so they can know the current location of those offenders.
So if they know the offenders, then wouldn't it be hard for the offenders because they might be isolated from the society?
No, because in the app we will only know the current location of those offenders. But when you're feeling insecure or you are not unfamiliar with the area, you can go to the app and check out if there are any sex offenders around you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
First negative control stage. 4 minutes.
Honorable judges, distinguished debaters. Today standing here, we the negative believe that there is no need of publicizing personal information of the sex offenders in the status quo with our minor repairs. The previous speech given by the affirmative has failed to consider some facts and some flaws in the plans which may cause further problems. And the negative will mention them in my following speech. But before responding to the affirmative's argument, the negative would first like to point out some facts about the status quo. Let's have a second thought on the affirmative's harm and significance. According to the Ministry of Justice, the recidivism rate from 2006 to 2011 proved that sex offenders released from prison are more likely to be rearrested for non-sexual crimes. The rate of recommitting sexual assaults is only 3.7%, and it is continue to decrease. This shows that compared with other crimes, the recidivism rate of sexual assaults is rather low, which further indicates that the harm of this issue is not that significant. Also, from all the sex offenders in jail, 40% have criminal records, and only 10% of the 40 are sexual recidivists. This shows that the current system is working right now. And now, this result is the same as Joe Levinson's in Sex Offense Recidivism, Risk Assessment, and Adam Walsh Act. And that is our evidence for this, this argument. And now to the disadvantage of their plan. In this status quo, there are still other systems working instead of the registration system, such as psychotherapy. However, the affirmative have made no response to what to do with them. Over 100 million NT dollars is needed for maintaining the original system, and a new system needs money. Take the US as an example. More than $2 million US was spent on the registration system in the state of New Jersey, and year after year, the amount is still increasing. And voting for this plan will only cause more waste of money if nothing is done to the current system. The negative believes that improving the original system will cost less money than executing a new one. And now to the human rights. According to the constitutional interpretation number 603, people have the right to decide where, when, how, and to whom to notify their personal information. They also have the right to know and correct what have been publicized. However, adopting this new publicizing system will go right against it. So, the negative believes that with our minor repairs, the status quo can be improved. Instead of publicizing sex offenders' personal information, we, the negative, suggest that we put emphasis on education and the improvement of psychotherapy in the current system. According to Dr. Zhen Ruilong, professor of Department and Graduate Institute of Criminology, the most practical segment to decrease sexual crime rate is to fortify compulsive treatment in the prison and to put community therapy and of body and mind and guidance education into effect. Further evidence and statement will be detailed in the second speech. All in all, the negative calls for voting against the affirmative plan, and I now stand for cross-examination.
First affirmative, cross-examine, first negative. 2 minutes.
Good afternoon. Do you agree with the current situation, the current system?